This is the Spritz Girl Mindset Podcast, and I'm your host, Courtney Young. If girlhood is a mindset, this is where we practice it out loud and unfiltered. We're healing, we're yapping, and we're doing it with spritzes in hand. Here's your permission slip to be soft, messy, and magnetic as hell. So grab a spritz, grab a seat, no small talk, just the real stuff. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Spritz Girl Mindset Podcast. I am your host, Courtney Young, and today I have a very special guest who happens to be one of my favorite people on this planet. Her name is Nikki. So, Nikki, I'm going to let you introduce yourself to my audience, and then we'll kind of get into it.
So my name is Nicole Warah. Just got married in the process of changing my name. I can't tell you how much I had to think about this question. I feel like I want to just say all the things that I really like doing. Like I love traveling, reading, but then I'm also like, okay, but who am I? And
This
I
is my
literally,
favorite question to ask people because your answer is like the very common one. Like most people want to deflect to like what it is that they do or do for others or their legs, and they don't know how to describe themselves, like who they are as the human. And so I just always find it so interesting.
and I feel like it's like you don't want it to come across weird how you're talking about yourself in a way. So, like, for me, I would say, like, I'm a very loving person, and I love creating special bonds with people and not just having, like, that surface level
Right.
kind of relationship with people. Like, I wanna get into the nitty-gritty, deep kinda stuff,
Yeah.
um, which I think that really, like, sets the tone for who I am.
Oh, it absolutely sets the tone for who you are. You're somebody who wants to deep dive, who wants to know people, who wants to get into it. I love that. You have just been a little bit all over the place career wise. So, why don't we like start with that? Now that we've kind of gotten into who Nikki is, tell us a little bit about, what it is that you've done. I know obviously I'm biased. You were an amazing health coach. I've worked with you multiple times, and now you've started this completely new journey. Like, tell us all about it.
So, I mean, like, let's start at the very beginning. So going through high school, I always really loved science, math. I was, what is it, like a STEM girly, whatever.
Okay. Come on, STEM
Yes.
girly.
But after graduating high school, I went to a year of high school in Toronto, and that was after a gap year. So I traveled for 3 months in that gap year. And then going to a university that was very intense, to
I'm
say the
I'm right.
least. It was overwhelming. I feel like I was kind of almost in, like, a rut and kind of in a darker place in my life just because I felt like I didn't have really any friends moving to a new city, and then
Well,
I
that's a
was
big move
struggling with
too.
school. Huge, huge. Literally a different country,
Mhm.
right? So, I feel like I had almost like an identity crisis while I was there,
So
and
valid.
then my parents told me that they're gonna move down to Florida. So I grew up in upstate New York, so they're moving from New York to Florida, and I was like, "Okay, I'm coming with you." And I finished out a 2nd year, got my associates in biology, and then decided I didn't wanna do anything with it.
So
Um,
fair.
Not, like, inherently, I guess, because I did kind of go into a science type of field with coaching.
Yeah, I feel like it's like same, but different.
Exactly, exactly. It's like, has some of those aspects, but it's also way different.
Right.
It's application opposed to just, I don't know, whatever biology is.
I don't know. I just
Uh,
remember taking biology in 7th grade and having to dissect a squid at one point and being like, this is not for me.
yes, because we did a frog.
Yeah, we did that
And
too.
oh, you did both?
Yeah, we did a frog, we did a squid. I think the AP kids did something else, but I remember in 7th grade, we did the squid down here, and oh my gosh, saying this out loud, it sounds really weird, but then my science teacher would always be like, I guess it was like a tradition of hers back then, she's like, "Let's have calamari," and, like, she made it seem like it was calamari from the squid we dissected, and then it was not calamari from the squid we
Wait, so
dissected.
she would bring in
Yeah,
calamari
she
after
would
you
bring in
dis
calamari after we dissected a squid. So we would have, like, a calamari fry in middle school after we dissected this squid.
oh my god, I don't think my stomach could handle it.
I don't know how mine did.
Well,
I don't know how mine did.
that's crazy.
Yeah, it
I
was
think we
something.
maybe did we did, like, a bit I think we did a cat.
See, I think the AP kids did a cat. We didn't do a
I was
cat.
in AP Bio.
Yeah, okay, so that makes sense.
Yeah,
That
so
makes sense.
that was crazy. It was, like, 1 cat for the whole class, I think,
Yeah, mhm.
or maybe I don't remember, to be honest. I blacked it out.
Yeah, crazy. Okay, so we moved and we're in Florida now, and
Yeah.
we switched over to health.
Yep. So, I basically decided to go down the route of coaching, health coaching, because at that point I had gotten into bodybuilding because of my husband. At the time, he was still bodybuilding, so I really got into it, and I ended up going through a schooling called Metabolic Mentor University, and it took me about a year, I think, to finish that, but I forget the title that they give you when you complete it, but honestly, I feel like a lot of that information was good, but there was also a lot that now I don't necessarily agree with.
Right,
So, like, it just kind of feels like they had a certain way that you had to do things, but at the end of the day, everybody's different and nobody's gonna be the exact same. Nobody's gonna be able to do the same things the same way. It depends on their life. Like, a single woman versus a mom who's married with 3
mhm.
kids, like, they have completely different lives. So you can't expect them to do the same things
Yeah, well, and
every
when you tap into, like, hormones and stuff with all of that too, I know that was a big thing that we would work through when we were
Yep.
working together, like, every body is just so different, and you have so many different, like, I don't know, I feel like it would be impossible to really, like, know everything, you know? Like, and you are a very well-researched, like, very studied person, but it's also just, like, I can imagine how that would feel overwhelming or intimidating or even just, like, a lot.
Yeah. I mean, like, I didn't even mention this, but, like, part of the reason I did get into coaching was because of my hormones and
Mhm.
my journey, you could call it, with my hormonal fluctuations that, they were in the dumpster fire.
Been there, and you definitely helped me with mine. Oh, you know, gotta love that.
It was amazing to always see, like, progress with women like you and PCOS and, helping you with your hormones. Another girl that I coached who had endometriosis, and she ended up finally getting pregnant after we were coaching for a few months, and it
Oh,
was just, like, amazing. Like, that
yeah,
was such a cool feeling.
yeah. Okay, so obviously we talked about, like, the pros of that, but something switched because 'cause we're not doing that now. So, what happened? When did you feel that fire start to burn out? Like, what was that transition for you?
So, I think a big part of it so, originally, when my hormones were messed up, I got severe cystic acne. I cleared it up. It came like, what year is it?
It's
2025?
2025.
2024. So in like 2023, end of 2023, it started getting really bad again. And that was really defeating. And I felt like I was just doing something wrong again, even though I was doing everything that I could to make sure that my body was in a good place
Mhm.
so that because at that time, my ultimate goal was to compete again.
Right.
to have my body kind of feel like it was betraying me in a
Ugh.
way,
Yeah.
terrible.
Yeah.
And for the longest time, I was like, "Oh, I don't wanna go on Accutane, it wrecks your body, blah, blah, blah." It was the best thing I ever did.
Yeah. I've heard a couple of people say that. Like, I've heard a
Like,
couple of people say, like, it really has helped them. And sometimes, like, we could get into the conversation of birth control isn't an end all be all. I'm a big proponent of that. But like sometimes medicine is actually genuinely helpful. And like it doesn't always have to be an all or nothing. Like I take ADHD medication and I take anti-anxiety medication and I am a different person when I take those medications versus when I don't. And like you, like I have been trying to do all the right things. And sometimes you need that extra help and there's no shame in that. Sometimes bodies just be bodying and they
just don't be doing what you want.
they do betray us. And that's so frustrating when you feel like you're doing all the right things and you're like doing the work and it doesn't feel like anything is changing. And
Yep.
sometimes it's getting worse. So like I'm so glad. Thank you for sharing that. Like it's sometimes we need the help and that's okay.
Yeah. And I like, at the time, I was less than a year out from my wedding. So I'm like, "Okay, I can't
Yeah.
deal with this
Yeah.
on my wedding day." Not only is it just like it doesn't make me feel confident, beautiful, all of these things. And I'm not even saying that like you can't be beautiful with acne. Like I know that's not true. I
Right.
know like I can be beautiful and have pimples on my face, but it was just so destroying,
Hmm.
I feel like, to my confidence. And I didn't even feel like myself. And so, being able to utilize that, and it was horrible the first few months,
Oh, I'm sure.
like it all coming out, purging, it hurt and it was
Mhm.
itchy and dry and uncomfortable. But after 2.5, 3 months, I was like, oh my gosh, like my confidence is coming back. I'm going out without wearing makeup
Yeah.
and not feeling terrible about
Right.
myself, like not like worried about people looking at my face,
Yeah.
being like, oh my God.
And that's so real too. Like I feel like yes, we are our own harshest critics and everything like that, but it's so real to have these things that we're so insecure about and it really does change everything. Like for me, my face blows up. Like I get puffy because of my PCOS. And so right now it is puffier. And the narrative I'm actively working on rewiring for myself is okay, but just because my face is puffy because I've been eating like shit, like let's call a spade a spade. Let's be honest about what it is. I've been eating like shit. I haven't been doing the things I know I need to be doing. Doesn't mean that I look the same as I did 3, 4 years ago before I started anything, you know?
1000. It's like how we always say progress isn't linear. Like
Mhm.
it's always going to have ups and downs, ebbs and flows. You're not going to continuously trend down in weight when you're going on a diet. Like
Right.
it's going to go up every once in a while.
Yeah.
It's not going to be perfect, especially as women.
Yeah, well, and that's I think where people fail is they get so caught up on the I was this, now I am this, so I suck and I'm the worst. And it's like we all have these things we're insecure about. We all have these things we need to work on. And like your health, not even like weight loss of it all, or like your hormones, your health, like that is a lifelong journey. Like there will
Yeah.
always be something. If it's not acne, it's going to be something else. If it's not my chin hairs, it's gonna be something else. If it's not my face being puffy, it's always gonna be something else. So, like, that journey comes from this place of radical honesty and learning to love yourself where you're at and choosing to take the steps forward, even when the results aren't matching what we want our timeline to look like.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. That was a whole side tangent. So, speaking of that,
We're just taking side
we're
quests
just
today.
girls. So what are we doing now? We're not health coaching. We've stepped
Okay.
away from that. Where are we at? What are we doing now?
Yes. So, I mean, kind of another, I don't mean to side quest again, but
So we do.
another like big changing factor in what made me kind of decide to change career paths. I got into a car accident. So I've been having problems since the accident back in November. And, I haven't been able to post
Yeah.
things. Like, I can't go to the gym and work out the way that I tell my clients to. And if I'm not doing it,
Yeah.
a lot of the times they're like, well, why do I have to do it if
Yeah.
you're not
It questions your credibility, even if you have actual legitimate reasons for not doing those things.
Yes, exactly. And then on top of that, it's just like a way to gain clients is
Hmm.
posting.
Yeah.
So
You
if
have
I'm
to
not
put yourself
posting
out there.
those things, yes, and if I'm not posting those things, I'm not going to get new clients.
Right.
So like my roster was slowly dwindling down. I felt discouraged, but I also just felt like I had lost this passion for coaching. It was kind of scary. I was
Yeah,
like,
I can
what
imagine.
do I
Like, you
do?
built your whole identity around this. Like,
Yes. Anyway, my coach, he basically was like, you know what? You need to find some hobbies.
hmm
So I decided to, well, I was kind of looking into different things because I was like, what can I do right now? Because a lot of hobbies that I do enjoy are more like physical activity,
right. And you
which
can't do that after an accident.
I was I was hindered.
Yeah.
So like I was like, well, I would love to, go play pick up hockey like I did in high school, but
hmm
I can't do that with a neck injury.
Right.
So I was kind of just looking into like crafty things because I always loved being creative. And I ended up deciding to start doing press on nails. And I loved it. And it became like this little obsession. And about 6 weeks into doing that, and like setting up an Etsy, Etsy shop and a TikTok shop, I was like, you know what? I want to make this a career.
I remember the first site you ever posted, and my jaw literally, I was like, huh?
It's so funny because I know what one you're talking about, and I look back at it and I'm like, I could have done so much
Oh
better.
my gosh. But it was so good. Like, I'm not crafty at all. Like, my friend Megan always laughs at me because we'll like do little craft nights and she's like, let's do stuff with clay. And she has this like beautiful like creation. And I have like a circle with like it's onion. And I'm like, I give up. I hate this. So I saw that first site you posted. I was like, what? Who
You know
knew?
what?
Like, so talented.
Thank you. Thank you. I honestly, like, I feel like it was so nice and such a big change from like working on something that's so clinical to being able to actually be creative because there's not really room for creativity with health coaching.
Right.
It's like we're changing the rice to potatoes. That's as creative as
We're
we get
putting
around
chia
here.
seeds on the sweet potato.
Yes. So it was definitely really nice to just kind of be able to express like that.
Yeah.
And that's when I decided 6 weeks in that I was going to go to nail tech school. And in Florida, it's only 180 hours. So not very much because there's some states that are like over 500, which is crazy. So I finished the program literally Friday. So that was, what
So
was that, the
exciting.
23rd? I don't know.
Yeah, literally so fast. I feel like we just got
Crazy.
coffee and we're just talking about this.
I know. Because had I even started
No,
school? That's crazy.
no,
I can't even believe it.
so
I
fast.
can't believe I finished it. Like, that's it.
Of course you did. Of course you did. I'm not shocked.
I knew I would finish, but I can't believe it happened so fast.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I also feel like as we get older, life moves so much faster too. Like the days feel longer, but the years feel shorter. And that's such a cliche saying, but like
Right. But also this year,
sped by.
what do you mean I moved back to Orlando almost a year ago?
Yeah, I know.
What do you mean?
Crazy. What do you mean I turned 30 in June?
What do you mean my birthday is in like 10 days?
Yeah, literally. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we finished nail school. This will be the whole episode. All good.
I know,
We
literally.
we finished nail school. Have to imagine again, kind of going back to that like identity thing. Were there a lot of like doubts for you? Like, was it an easy transition? Like, what was that journey like? Like, deciding to completely change careers and like fully invest in yourself and say, I'm going to do this. It's completely different than anything I've ever done. Walk me on that journey.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
Absolutely terrifying. The entire time going through my head, I'm like, okay, is this the right thing to do? Am I going to be able to make money? Am
Mm.
I going to make my investment back? Am I going to actually enjoy it when I get into it? Because the reality is, you don't know until you do it. So it's all very scary things. Me and my husband, we're going through the process of buying a house. And I'm like, okay, I need to make sure that I can provide
Hmm.
for our family, our future family. I don't want to let him down. So I feel like there's a pressure there.
Right.
And like, I know no matter what, we'll make it through. Like, if I had to, I would go get a job at a freaking Starbucks. Like, I don't care. But I want to make it work so bad that it is like a huge pressure.
Yeah.
And I think that those are like the whole thing, it just felt so scary.
Yeah. Well, building a small business from the ground up is not easy. And I'm saying that as somebody who has actively worked in a small business for the last 6 years. I'm building my own branding and my own coaching and doing all that stuff. So I commend you for taking that leap to validate you. Like, it is scary. You really have to be able to bet on yourself. You really have to be able to like believe your own voice. And so when you think back to that question of like, who am I? Who am I without what I do for other people? Who am I without serving other people? Like, I feel like you are living out who you are by taking that bet on yourself, like
Yeah. I
you're
think
like,
it's almost like serving in a different way.
yeah, yeah,
I kind of like the idea of that, but it also scares me.
yeah. Well, particularly like, in the beauty industry, like you're getting to connect with other women. You're getting to make those connections, those friendships. You're getting to show up for people in some of their like best, highest moments and hardest moments, similarly to you would in what I would imagine you would in coaching. Like it's a beautiful opportunity to get to serve and show up for other people while still embracing another side of you that maybe you didn't know before that you're really starting to love, which I think is so cool.
Absolutely.
What has the support been like for you in this season? Do you feel like very supported? Do you feel like not so much?
Oh, yes. Literally, like, my husband's support has been fantastic. He he doesn't necessarily get nails,
Right.
but, like
I'm trying to picture
like,
Brandon like sitting there, and I'm sure he would like be a model for you, but I'm trying to picture it.
oh, I don't know if he would. He would be able to function. Maybe I could, like I told him, like, "If we have a daughter, you have to let her paint your nails
Yes.
if she wants to."
Yes.
That's all I'm saying. Like, you can remove it before you leave the house. You
So
gotta let
fair. So fair.
but oh my gosh, what was the question?
Support. Like, what does that look like for
Yes,
you?
okay. No, but my parents have been super supportive. Um, my parents-in-law have been so excited. My mother-in-law is very excited for me to be able to do her nails all the
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure there's lots of people that are like, TikTok, let's go. Culture.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't wanna be unhappy with, like, the environment because that's
Mm-mm.
huge for me.
Yeah. No, that makes or breaks everything.
100%.
Okay. So if your best friend came to you saying she was burnt out and scared to start over, what would you tell her?
Been there, done that.
Got the postcard.
But, like, I feel like if I mean, like, I have
Mm.
done this.
Yeah.
I have gone to friends and be like, "I'm burnt out. I don't know what the heck to do with my life. How do I make money?" Like, essentially.
Yeah.
And I feel like, I'm thinking of one friend in particular, and she was basically just like, "You need to kinda just follow your heart, and it's gonna be scary no matter what, like, no matter what you're choosing, because like I said before, like, you don't know.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you don't know until you know. So, I think just, like, trying to be supportive what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know the word of
Listening, not
I
quite,
mean, like,
but
yes,
not quite.
listening, but still, like, I don't wanna say molding, but what's the word I'm looking for?
I'm trying to think
I
of it
have
now
no
too.
idea.
It'll come back to you, like,
We'll scratch that, we'll
it'll
scratch
come back to you in your sleep, and you're gonna wake up in the middle of the night and be like, yeah. Yeah, my friend Danny always she's been on the podcast before, but something that she has really taught me to, like, lean into and embody is this mindset of choose your hard, right?
Mhm.
Like, we all get to make choices every single day, and all of our choices have consequences, good or bad, and so, like, everything is gonna be hard for one reason or another, and if you make the easy choice, that's fine, you're allowed to make that easy choice, but, like, look at the life you're settling for when you do that. And, like,
The hard choice is the right choice.
yeah, like, easy choice, hard life, hard choice, aligned life, you know? And
Yeah,
I think that I remember, like, you would say that to me all the time when we were, like, working in fitness, and I think it applies here too. Like, it is scary to bet on yourself. It is scary to invest in yourself. It is scary to start over and do something that you've never done before, particularly when you were working in a field where you were the expert, you
yeah.
know? To go from being the expert in something and, like, knowing the research and having the proof and having the studies and being that mentor, being that guide to other people to, okay, well, now I'm starting from square zero. I'm starting at zero. I know nothing essentially. Everyone, I could tell you you have the most beautiful work in the world, which you do, but if you don't believe in that for yourself, like,
Kind of a side note, but it's actually crazy how much you can learn just on TikTok.
yes.
Like, seriously,
Yeah.
before I went to school, I hadn't even touched acrylic. I was never really interested in acrylic. I really wanted to do, like, builder italics, but the amount of stuff that I learned, like, especially, like, nail art and
Yeah.
design and stuff like that, even application of acrylic, like, watching other people do it, I feel like was a huge thing in helping me improve fast,
Yeah. I
and
believe it.
I do really agree with that, though, that going from being an expert to being new is so scary and humbling.
Yeah. Well, you're basically having to rebuild who you are, your whole identity. And I'm actually very excited to see that journey for you because it'll be around who you actually are and not around, what you do,
Right, 100%.
which will be like,
Sorry.
no, don't be sorry. It's all good. Um, okay. So with all that in mind, like, how would you define success for yourself right now?
Like, kind of like where I'd like to see myself?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I would really love to do either, like, a booth rental or just renting a space.
Yeah.
Ultimately, I'd love to open a salon.
Yeah. You'd
Like,
be a great business owner.
I would literally love that because I feel like, especially in Orlando, I struggled to find somewhere that I want to keep going.
Yeah.
It has been so hard. I mean, I feel like especially in the Winter Garden area,
Mm.
like there's so many places that I'm like, now that I've learned
Yeah.
everything that I've learned, I'm like, are you actually sanitizing your
Yeah.
products and utensils correctly or
Mm.
what are you doing? Like they go and they use a dirty sanding band on me and I'm like, that's supposed to be fresh,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
So
You're
like
like,
it's just like concerning.
yeah. Yeah.
And then, like, I was telling my teacher, it's like, I hate having to do my own pedicure because it's just annoying. Like,
Yeah.
everybody loves to get a pedicure done, but every time I go get one done somewhere, I don't like it.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like they don't cut my nails right. Even if I tell them how to cut my nails, they don't, like, clean everything out properly.
See you being like an educator, like a business owner, like, I think you'll get there. I could see that being a goal for it makes so much sense, makes so much sense to me, and I think you'll get there, and I think the thing to remember right now is you're allowed to make mistakes. you're not going to be the expert right now. And it's when we feel safe to make those mistakes, when we feel safe to take those steps. So I'm excited to see like the next 6 months, the next year, the next 5 years. Like,
I will say I'm definitely very blessed to have so many friends in the beauty industry. I feel like it's gonna be good. I know that there will be mistakes, but I feel like nothing is unfixable.
yeah, well, mistakes are how we grow, they're how we become better.
Exactly.
We have to be safe with ourselves first. Okay. Last question, and then we're going to kind of like close out. To the person who is listening right now, who is, kind of where you were after the accident, like feeling burnt out, feeling overstimulated, feeling overwhelmed, and wants to start over, but is scared to make that leap, what would you say to them right now?
My gut literally says to just trust yourself, or, like, to answer this question
Yeah,
that you're
yeah,
saying. Trust yourself, like, listen to what your heart is saying, what your gut is saying. If like, for the longest time, Brandon tried to convince me that coaching was for me, and, like, I got what he was saying because his points were valid. They
yeah.
were
Hmm.
so valid, but at the same time, I was like, "I get why you would think that, but my heart tells me I don't wanna do this anymore."
Mm,
So, listening to that little voice in your head or your
yeah,
heart or your gut, whatever you wanna call it, that is, like, step 1, and
yeah,
then take the leap of faith.
yeah. And to add to that, I would say giving yourself the space to grieve that, you
Mhm.
know,
100%.
like realizing that, like, I'm sure that when you were like, no, it actually really isn't.
Yeah.
Like, there is a grieving process for that. Like, we
Mhm.
have to give ourselves the space to sit in it and to honor it. All the past versions of ourselves make us who we are in the present version of ourselves and will lead to the future versions of ourselves. So give yourself that space, sit in it, let yourself be sad about it, let yourself mourn about it, and then take a deep breath and take the leap. Yeah, I love that.
Yes. Yeah. No, I completely agree with that, and honestly, I also feel like that decision affected so many other decisions in my life,
Yeah.
and, like, literally, gosh, 3 days ago, I decided that I'm not gonna compete again. Yeah.
Wow.
Like, mind-blowing because I've been working on this for,
Yeah.
like, almost 5 years, and I was just like, "You know what? Like, my life has changed so much. My goals have changed." Like, I'm married now, we're buying a house, I want to have kids in a few years, and bodybuilding doesn't really align with that.
Right.
So it was like, "Okay, we're going down the path of new career,
Yeah.
completely throwing bodybuilding out the window,
Yeah.
and just trying to adapt my life." Because gosh, bodybuilding has so many things that really just get into your head, whether
Mhm.
it's body dysmorphia, food. Like, I've weighed my food and my meals for the past 5 years. So, like, I want to try to be able to not do that and not freak out in my head.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember at the peak of, like, when I was, and I did this once. I never tried to bodybuild, but I remember when we would do, like, flush and it was like, "Okay, I'm gonna travel. I'm gonna bring all of my food with me. I'm gonna fly. I'm gonna freeze everything. I'm gonna bring it with me." And, like, I did that once and it was, like, great. Like, the results my body saw, like, I'm not knocking, like, in that time, like,
Yeah,
I needed to do that, but I can't imagine essentially doing that for 5 years all the time. Of course, you're gonna get burnt out from that.
yeah. It's and, like, some people are built for it. Like, truly, they are just built for that hustle and that grind, and they love it, and I just feel like I almost lost that drive as well. And,
Yeah.
like, I don't know if that was, like, hand in hand with coaching or if it kind of just happen to be at the same time. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like I say this every episode, but I don't believe in that phrase everything happens for a reason. I think it really invalidates how our own experiences, our own feelings, our own emotions, but like I do think that everything can be redeemed for good and like the car accident that did not happen for a reason. It should not have happened. And as somebody who like also got into an accident that caused a lot of like
Well,
issues and
it
trauma, it sucks. And like
sucks.
but also, I'm grateful that it gave you the space to lean in and look at who you were and what you actually want out of life so that, you're not 10 years into a career that you don't love and feeling completely burnt out. So it's like these things go hand in hand, right? And your story matters and it has meaning and it has value. And again, I want to reiterate, did not happen for a reason. But like you now have this space to look at who is Nikki. What does Nikki want out of life? What is Nikki outside of weighing food and bodybuilding? And how can I explore my creativity? And what does slowing down and living a like relaxed and fulfilled life look like? What does traveling freely and being able to genuinely
Mm,
like lean into and enjoy that? What does that look like? Like, what does being creative look like? How can I tap into that more emotional side rather than that logical side? And I'm very excited to see that journey for you.
I'm very excited because there's definitely parts where I'm like, I have no idea what this is gonna look like. I'm excited, I'm nervous, I'm scared, but I feel good about it.
Well, and feeling scared, like do it scared, do it anyway,
Yeah,
Like again, hard choices align life. Like
exactly.
if there's not a little bit of fear or like fire under your ass, like it's probably not the right thing for you, you know?
Yeah, 100%. Like, I can't tell you how many people have been like, "I haven't seen you this excited about something, maybe ever."
Yeah.
So, like, that's really cool because they can see my passion.
Yeah. And that's like so empowering too because, you know, I feel like your closest people will be able to tell you like, "Oh, you seem like different. You seem like burnt out. You seem not happy." And then when they start to say like, "Oh, I see that light in you again," like that is the most like rewarding feeling.
It's like those reels, "You seem happier."
Yeah.
Thanks, I quit my job.
Yes. Okay, you need to do that one. All right. Well, this has been so wonderful as always. Before we go, let my audience know how they can support you, how they can support your journey, how they can keep up with you, how they can buy press-ons from you because they are damn good. Let them know. Tell them, girl.
Alright, so the best way is probably Instagram and TikTok. So at Nick, N-I-C dot so you can find my Etsy link on there, you can look at all of my fun stuff, but just give me a follow. I'm
Yeah.
hoping that soon I'll have a location in Orlando, if you guys are in Orlando, and I hope to see you soon for some collab.
Yay. All right. Well, thank you so much for being here today. And to my audience, let this inspire you. Take the leap. Don't be scared. Do it anyway. Or if you're going to be scared, do it anyway. Anyway, I hope everybody has a great week and we will see you next time. Have a great Monday, Thursday. Thursday's the day I release. I'm going to edit that out. Bye.